I'm Hotep. Welcome back to my channel, See This World. My name is See the Moon Neferu. Happy Easter Sunday. We're going to meditate on some heart chakra frequencies before we get into the message. Today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. Sunday is the day all about self. It's all about honoring your connection to God, your connection to your higher self. It's about building your confidence and your self-esteem. Coming home to yourself and rebuilding your energies in preparation for the week ahead. So welcome to Sacred Sundays. Take a deep breath. Visualize an orange orb sitting at your feet. Inhaling that orange orb, allowing it to travel through your chakra system, up the legs, into the thighs, into the belly. With your next breath, really allowing the energy to fill you, expanding not only your breath and your energy. Hi, I'm good. How are you guys? Happy Sunday. Now allowing that bright orange to travel up into the chest, expanding the throat chakra, moving up into the third eye, aligning your inner knowing. 10 p.m. Wow. I am in Ohio in the United States and it's like 4 p.m. Almost 5. And now visualize that orange orb floating up above your head, activating the throat chakra. My name's Sita. And like a shower, Allow that energy to pour over you, cleansing your aura, aligning you with only the highest vibrations. I hope you guys enjoyed that mini sound bath. I do personal and private Reiki sections. I do crystal healing, intuitive readings. And if you go to my profile, you'll be able to find all that information where you can reach me. I'm burning some Palo Santo right now, so we can align with the highest vibrations, cleansing our energy, restoring us. Okay, I'm gonna get into the energy of the day. First, I want to take a moment to recognize, acknowledge, and celebrate the energy of Jesus Christ and all the reincarnations of Jesus Christ, and the symbolism behind the rebirth of the sun. And I practice Kemetic spirituality, so I'm going to talk and teach a little bit about Egyptian celebration of this day and origins and incarnations previous to Jesus Christ that date all the way back to Egyptian times, okay? Let me see. Okay, let me just get to my notes. So I'm gonna start out with just a few affirmations, and then I'm gonna link below in the video. Hey guys, it's not weed, it's Palo Santo. Palo Santo is used for smoke cleansing. It's similar to sage, but whereas sage clears out all of the energy, Palo Santo only clears out the negative, low vibrational energy. Yeah, if you see, it's like a wood stick. My favorite color is pink. What's your favorite color? That might tell me a lot about you. I know I am worthy of love and respect. The boundaries I create with others acknowledge my self-worth. I release the need to live up to other people's unrealistic expectations of me when I respect and approve of myself. So today we are in Waning Gibbous Moon. I always like to reverence and take note of what moon cycle we're in and what that means for us emotionally and spiritually at the moment. We are in Waning Gibbous. Waning Gibbous is when the moon starts to fade back into nothingness, essentially. And it's really centered on releasing emotional baggage, letting go of toxic relationship patterns, and practicing gratitude for current connections. It's a time of introspection, allowing you to reassess your romantic needs and clear space for healthier and more aligned love in the upcoming cycle. It's also a time for reviewing your goals. It represents turning inwards, letting go of the things that no longer serve you, whether it's habits, people, places, things. The answer is Jesus, yes, but the answer is the God within us. it's about creating space for new growth before the next cycle. And so that means taking the time to step back, go within, see how you are feeling, and really focus on reducing your stress. When we're in a stressful state, it impacts our vibration a lot, because we can't really fully be present in the moment. It's very important that this is 6 out of 8 moon phases. And the energy that we're focusing on today is the energy of 3, which represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. 3 represents communication, creativity. It really is the energy of life itself. And 6 is the energy of unconditional love and healing. I'm gonna drop a Bible verse for you guys today, and I love a good Bible verse to set as a channeled message, okay? And today's channeled message is Psalm 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's name and from deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eye and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I love that. And I've really been seeing a lot of the energy 911 lately. So that's something I channeled probably last week sometime about it being an emergency right now. And I feel like the true emergency that we need to be doing as a collective is really praying, really nurturing that relationship with God, okay? And Psalms are really spells in the Bible that God has left us to just come and call on Him and say, this is exactly what I need from you right now. And the energy of Psalms literally will cast out demons, okay? If you jumped on my live last night, it's up if you want to view it. I talked a lot about demons and what they really are, and you should go back and catch that. So I have a few different songs for music messages today. The first one I want to talk about is Firework by Katy Perry. I was out walking my dog today, and this song always crossed my mind whenever I'm outside and I see like a random plastic bag, and I had like dropped the doggy bag on the floor, and it started to blow away from me, and immediately in my ADHD mind I start hearing, do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you ever know it's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. And I know I am not a great singer. And you got to take the message out of the mess, Nick. It's not about the actual entertainer or the music artist. Today we are only focusing on the lyrics. It has nothing to do with Katy Perry as a person, or even if this song is good or bad. It's only, we just here to get the message out of the mess. That's some good advice that I could give you if sometimes you're confronted with information and you're like, oh, like I don't necessarily agree with that person that the message is coming from. You got to get the message out of the mess. I feel like this song was channeled to me to talk about the light that God puts inside of us, which is just a spark of God's love. And you can always be saved. You can always repent and go again. You just have to go back to that light inside of you and understand that God's love covers us all together. Let me see, what other songs do I have? One of the songs I had was No Idea by Toliver, and specifically the One in a Million remix by Aaliyah. I feel like there's a message in the lyrics of that. And then I'm also going to link below a DJ mix. It's Sunday cleaning mix. And for Sundays, cleaning is important because we're literally resetting the energy. When we reset the vibration of our home, that's the energy that is surrounding us when we come home. So I like to sometimes play Falehio frequencies in the background. Actually cleansing. Last night I was talking about doing floor wash with Florida water, doing laundry, changing your bed sheets, all that things helps to protect the vibration in your home. I'm very big on feng shui, but I added this Sunday cleaning mix because music is so powerful, and that's why I always include music messages, because music has the power to shift vibration very quickly. Music is like time traveling through sound, if that makes sense. So if you can connect with the lyric or the vibration of the beat, it can shift you into a new reality. And this cleaning mix was specifically like 90s, 2000s. So if you're like a millennial, if you was born between 90 and 2002, you're going to vibe with this, and it's going to put you into a good energy, a good mood, not only to be in the mood to feel and to clean, but to feel good within your body and promote healthy memories from your past. What else did I want to say? And then two videos that I'm going to link is videos that I feel like you should watch as soon as possible. One of them is from Mackenzie Co. It was a channel message that I just watched today. And she talks about really the energies outside of ourselves, the entities that exist within the universal collective that are sent to kill, steal, and destroy, and how it is that you can, oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So much gratitude. So yeah, check that video out. I'm going to link it when the video is saved. And then another video is one of my past lives, and it's from like a Gemini full moon. And in that I did a little sound healing, but specifically what I want you to focus on is the solar plexus affirmations. What else do we need to say before I get into this story? The video from Mackenzie is called This is Emotional Warfare. Okay. So what I'm going to be reading from you is from lates.uttexas.edu, and it is the story of Osiris, Isis, and Horus, the Egyptian myth of creation. From Geb, the earth god, and Nut, the sky goddess, came 4 children: Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephis. Osiris is the oldest, so became king of Egypt, and he married his sister Isis. And that was a normal thing back in the day. So a lot of things that were frowned upon that are frowned upon now and we know to be wrong during that time, it was the natural order of things. So we have to view it from a non-judgmental eye if that's what life was like for them at that time. They would marry into their own families when it came to royalty so they could keep the royal blood in the family. Osiris was a good king and commanded the respect of all who lived on earth and the gods who dwelled in the netherworld. However, Set was always jealous of Osiris because he did not command the respect of those on earth or those in the netherworld. One day, Set transformed himself into a vicious monster and attacked Osiris, killing him. Set then cut Osiris into pieces and distributed them throughout the length and the breadth of Egypt. With Osiris dead, Set became king of Egypt with his sister Nephis as his wife. Nephis, however, felt sorry for her sister Isis, who wept endlessly over her lost husband. Isis, who had great magical powers, decided to find her husband and bring him back to life long enough so they could have a child. Together with Nephis, Isis roamed the country, collecting the pieces of her husband's body and reassembling them. Once she completed this task, she breathed the breath of life into his body and resurrected him. They were together again, and Isis became pregnant soon after. Osiris is able to descend into the underworld, where he became the lord of that domain. Okay? So, what am I going to say? First thing that I want to talk about is that Satesh is my spiritual father. And when I got my life reading, I was like, that's my spiritual father. I was like, didn't he kill his brother? And I low-key like had like so much judgment for him. And it just was like where he was in a lower space vibrationally. So that's all that he could, that's the only tools that he had to respond from was through jealousy. I did a live or a video a couple of days ago when I was talking about the spirit of jealousy and the vibration of envy and how those are vibrations of the lower realm that the devil uses to control and manipulate our mind and our emotional state so that we can be more susceptible to acting out in those behaviors that come with vibrating on those lower energies. And so at this day and age, Satesh has repented and has learned and grown through different cycles and different levels of evolution through reincarnation, just as we all do, okay? And sometimes it creates more wholeness and more acceptance for these different deities and gods and goddesses when we start to see them through a human eye and not through like putting them on a pedestal. Like I too have been guilty of being jealous of someone and then wanting them to suffer or wanting what they had. I think that we all have at some point in our life, even if we didn't act on it or whatever, the feelings is there. And then I just want to kind of talk about Osiris now. Osiris is like in all these different like religions or beliefs and practices, all of these gods and goddesses are just another reincarnation or another explanation through that practice's eyes or whatever. So like I connect heavily to Osiris is because one of the first deities that came to me to work with me was Hecate. And Hecate and Osiris carry that same energy of the dead. Osiris is the god of deceased, and Set was the motherhood of magic, fertility, death, healing, and rebirth. So together, the masculine and feminine was able to come together to create a son, the son, okay? Another day, I'll get into Ra and all of that stuff. But for now, I will finish the story. The child born to Isis was named Horus, the hawk god. When he became an adult, Horus decided to make a case before the court of gods that he, not Set, was the rightful king of Egypt. A long period of argument followed, and Set challenged Horus to a contest. The winner would become king. Set, however, did not play fair. After several matches in which Set cheated and was the victor, Horus's mother Isis decided to help her son and set a trap for Set. She snared him, but Set begged for his life, and Isis let him go. When he found out that she had let his enemy live, Horus became angry with his mother and rages against her, earning him the contempt of the other gods. They decided that there would be one more match and Set would get to choose what it would be. Set decided the final round of the contest would be a boat race. However, in order to make the contest a challenge, Set decided that he and Horus should race boats made of stone. Horus was tricky and built a boat made of wood covered with limestone plaster, which looked like stone. As the gods assembled for the race, Set cut up the top of the mountain to serve as his boat and set it in the water. His boat sank right away, and all the other gods laughed at him. Angry, Set transformed himself into a hippopotamus and attacked Horus's boat. Horus fought off Set, but the other gods stopped him before he could kill Set. The other gods decided that the match was a tie. Many of the gods were sympathetic to Horus, but remember his anger towards his mother for being lineage to Set and were unwilling to support him completely. The gods who formed the court decided to write a letter to Osiris and ask for his advice. Osiris responded with a definite answer. His son is the rightful king and should be placed upon the throne. No one said Osiris should take the throne of Egypt through an act of murder, as Set had done. Set had killed Osiris, but Horus did not kill anyone and was the better candidate. The sun and the stars, who were Osiris's allies, descended into the underworld, leaving the world in darkness. Finally, the gods agreed that Horus could claim his birthright as the king of Egypt. So, that is a very beautiful story. And today I want to talk about Egyptian traditions and a lot of these where Christianity was based off of. In Egypt, there is a celebration on Easter Monday, and it is called Sham el-Nasim. It dates back to Pharaohic times when ancient Egyptians celebrated the festival called Shimu. It's a symbol of the beginning of harvest season and the renewal of life. And the Greek historian Plutarch documented this festival, which coincided with the vernal equinox in the 1st century AD. And vernal is just another word for spring. Egyptians will offer salted fish, onions, and lettuce as offerings to the gods, and these foods are still part of Egyptian tables to this day. When Christianity was brought to Egypt, the festival became linked to the celebration of Easter. Since then, Sham el-Nasim has always been held on the Monday after Easter, according to Coptic calendar. After the Islamic conquest, Egyptians of all religions continued to celebrate the festival, which became a national tradition passed down through generations. And I want to talk about some of the foods and encourage you to eat these foods between today and yesterday and why they are prevalent and the significance behind them. So first is eggs, and I have a bunch of eggs because I just picked up some, okay, and we're gonna do some color therapy. I did a spring equinox event a couple of weeks ago in celebration of spring, and we had an adult Easter egg hunt. And Easter egg hunts really symbolize and connects to the goddess Ishtar Anan, who is the goddess of fertility, okay? So it's all about fertility and hey, welcome in, and recreation, if that makes sense. So eggs represent the beginning of life emerging from inanimate matter. Egyptians used to inscribe their wishes on eggs and hang them from trees or place them on balconies, hoping for divine blessings. Onions are associated with the desire for life and overcoming death, especially in ancient legend where onions were said to have cured a pharaoh's son from mysterious illnesses. And to this day, onions still hold powerful healing power. If you are sick, like you got the flu, and you put an onion in your sock at nighttime before you go to bed, you wake up the next morning and a lot of your symptoms will be alleviated. Lettuce was considered a sacred plant. It symbolizes the arrival of spring and the growth of life, and it appeared as an offering in the temple scenes as early as the 4th dynasty. Fasik dates back to the 5th dynasty and symbolizes fertility and abundance. Egyptians developed an exceptional skill in preparing salted fish. And green chickpeas, also known as Milano, were seen as a natural sign of the arrival of spring and the ripening of earth. Sham el-Nasim remains a symbol of joy and renewal. It's the chance to revive the bonds that connect Egyptians across generations. Despite modern day challenges, the holiday continues to inspire hope and positivity. It's not only a return to nature, but also a celebration of Egyptians' enduring heritage and people's deep belief in life and communal spirit. Sham el-Nasim is more than just a holiday. It's an open invitation to enjoy life, express happiness, and uphold traditions that live in the hearts of Egyptians no matter how times change. I'm going to get right back so I can grab something. What's my favorite food? Probably mango. Yeah, probably mango. What's your favorite food? The 5x55 method might be important from you. I'm trying to look for number 3. Okay, so that's so interesting. Number 3 is associated with Gemini and Sag energy. So that's interesting that I channeled the Gemini full moon reading that I did. Number 3 energies are about creation, communication. It is very important for us to activate our throat chakra right now. And I was picking up on a throat chakra blockage collectively. A lot of times when we have an imbalance in our lower chakra, it starts to impact our upper chakra. So really building your intuition, finding confidence in yourself, building your self-esteem, that helps you to be able to speak your truth and communicate honestly and effectively, okay? Those two things are connected. So if you got a solar plexus imbalance, now it's starting to roll over into having the throat chakra imbalance. Right now, self-expression is really important, social interaction, and just also aligning with optimism. As I said, 3 is very significant for the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and it really represents ultimate perfection. Right now, if you are in a lower vibration, you might be a little naive. You may come off innocent to people, and that can influence you to make poor decisions. You might feel unfocused. You may feel more like you just want to live and create, but goals are not as important right now. Right now, you can tend to be more shallow, avoiding depth within yourself and others. So you might lean towards surface level connections or like towards 5th house stuff, seeking pleasure. This can encourage you to be gossipy, inconsistent, lazy with your efforts, or even attention seeking. And then as far as romance is concerned, in this lower vibration, you might be having rose-colored lenses on, not really being able to see the truth for what it is. But the answer to all of that is seeking the meaning of life for you, seeking what your purpose is and what it is that God sent you here to do, how it is that you personally are supposed to be raising the collective vibration. Now, on a high vibration, this is the energy of the Empress in Tarot. This is creativity, it's fertility, it is our life force, it's our chi, it's what strengthens our willpower, okay? And a lot of times when we got these entities engaging around us, lasagna, oh, I love lasagna too. A lot of times it's what was I saying? Okay, so it's Empress energy. It's all about creativity. It's all about fertility and rebuilding your own willpower. And I want to give you a recommendation, a book recommendation, which is the Kabbalion. And specifically, I'm going to find like the page or the chapter that that references willpower. So the Kabbalion explains the 7 Hermetic principles, and do, 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 do. Okay, so what I'm talking about is from chapter 14, mental gender. Okay, it specifically talks about sorry. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. The final Hermetic principle isn't about physical gender the way we usually think male and female bodies. Gender here means the presence of 2 fundamental energies or qualities, the masculine and the feminine. The Kabbalion says gender is in everything. In other words, everything contains 2 types of force. One is active, assertive, and giving, often labeled as masculine, and the other is receptive, nurturing, and creative, labeled as feminine. These terms don't strictly mean man or woman. Every person and everything has both aspects in some way. Think of masculine energy as the sun shining out, providing, and pushing forward. And think of feminine energy as like the soil or the earth, receiving the seed, nourishing, and giving life form. We see masculine and feminine in nature, day and night, light and dark, active and passive forces. And in ourselves, we might call them our left brain, logical, assertive side, and our right brain, intuitive, creative side. For creation to happen, both energies must work together. For example, to create a new idea, you must use a masculine quality of focused thought and feminine quality of imagination. In a project team, someone's visionary boldness, masculine trait, and someone else's careful planning, feminine trait, together make a success. This principle also appears in many cultures as the idea of balance, yin and yang in Chinese philosophy, Shiva and Shakti in Hindu, which all emphasize a harmony of 2 forces. The Kabbalion insists that true creation and power come from the balance of masculine and feminine energies. If one side is lacking, creation is harder, for instance. If someone is all action, masculine, with no receptivity or reflection, feminine, they may burn out or make rash decisions. If someone is all intuition and feeling, feminine, with no action, masculine, their dreams may never take shape, and we need both. In simple life terms, this principle encourages to find balance within ourselves and how we approach things. Embrace your active side and your reflective side. It's not about the gender and social senses. It's about the complementary energies in everything. That's not the one that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I'll get more specific into the Kabbalion. I'll talk more about that in another video. But I guess the last thing I'm gonna do is do some divination through color therapy. We got blue, that's the throat chakra, which I already talked about. We got green, which is the heart chakra. So A lot of like what you believe and you feel from the experiences that you had is what's creating that throat chakra balance. It's a lot connected to the heart chakra. And what that tells me is learning to be more forgiving of yourself. The more capacity you have to forgive yourself, the more capacity that you will have to forgive other people. And what that says is that opens up your heart space to receive more, whether that be knowledge, information, other perspectives, really energy outside of yourself. And then pink, this is a energy frequency of the root chakra, but pink is just a lighter shade of red. And what that says to me is that we want to be grounded, but not too grounded. We want to be grounded just enough to be in the present moment, but not grounded to the point where it's stopping us from manifesting, from seeing past the present moment, if that makes sense. This pink is telling me to romanticize everything. It's saying to know and to have discernment when it's necessary for you to put on those rose-colored lenses in an experience, or when it's time to take them off and to see things clearly for what they really are. I think that's all I really had today. I hope that this message received you all fully, and I'm going to pull up some chi energy and send that into the world. Shy, thank you for being here. In Kemet, we do that so that we are sharing energy with each other and sending energy to raise each other's vibration and an offer of gratitude. And that's really all that I have. Hotep.